Yo, Malcolm here. Today's video, I am going to show you how to build out this hero section from my latest template. A few things that I want us to focus on is we are using Breakdance version 2 beta 3. So this is not for live production. This is definitely for something that you want to put on the side and wait until version 2 is officially out. But we are going to try and use the beta to prepare ourselves for version 2. That being said, let's get into what we actually do have over here. So we are using the pulsing dot widget that just came out, and we also do have this over here that I'm going to show you how to use the content reveal to do that. And we do have our logo here, which is probably something that anybody can do. All right, going back into our main development page, I am going to add a section. And within the section, I'm going to add a few things like the pulsing dot and one or two things. But let's add a div inside the section. Let's click on the section, go into layout, and then make sure that we align it into the center. And that should be good. And let's select our div, click on add. Let's add the pulsing dot. So that is a pulsing dot. But before we do that, I'm going to add another div. Open the structure panel, move this div up top, place the pulsing dot inside, and in here what I'm going to do is add some text, so no more text. And then I also want to add an icon. All right, let's click back on this div, go into layout, make sure that we change it to horizontal, and then we are going to vertical align it just like that. And then for the gap, let's give this one a gap of 10 pixels. That should be good. All right, now let's go down into container on that same div. And then for the border, I am going to give it a border radius of, let's say, 25, right? And then the width, I'm going to give it 1. And the color, we are going to, if we select white, we can just drag this all the way down to make it a bit more faint. All right, that is good. Now let's go into padding, and then let's give it a padding of 5 pixels all around. And then we are going to change this one to probably like a 12 pixel. And that should be good. And then we can do a bit of things over here. We can change the typography. So over here, the font size, level 0.75 REMs, which is good. And then we can click on the icon, change this one to an arrow. So picking an arrow, we can pick this one, right? And then let's go into styling, click on this, and then change this one to like 12 pixel, which is fine. And then we can change the color to a kind of a black, or we can select our pre-made black over here. All right, going back over here, we are going to go into styling and make this one solid. And then we can make this one round like that. If you want to change the pattern, we can change that by making this 5 pixel, which is okay. And then for the background, we can change background to this white. Okay, that is for the icon. All right, the background is here. Let's change this one to a white. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this all the way down to make it a bit fainter. And that is good. Let's click back on the pulsing icon. Here you can do a bit of things like change the color. So let's change our color to probably like a green. If you want like a solid green, you can do that. So I'll bring this green here. I think that is good. We can change the size to size of 12. Maybe that's too much. Let's do 10. All right, so I think that is good. We can go back here and then start copying some of the text over here, because all right, so that is the text. And then we can also click on this white, and then we can drag this down a bit if we don't want it to be too visible. Okay, I think that is good. We have something close to that. All right, the next one is this text. So I'm going to copy that, go back into development. I'm going to select this div, click on add, and I'm going to add the text. Going back into our main div, I'm going to go into layout, make sure that I click on vertical, and I'm going to center it like that, and that should be good. So I'm going to click on this, place our text in here. And I'm going to do is I'm going to use more blocks utility Chrome extension. If you haven't downloaded that, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. It gives you the ability to generate clumps so that you can use them for your font. So Control Shift U to bring it up. I'm going to drag it over here, click on clump generator. I'm going to make this one 76 and then click on this and I copy it. So the text being selected, let's go into styling, typography. I'm going to change the font size to custom, and then let's just paste what we just copied. And what I'm going to do is for the weight, I am going to change this one to like 300. I think 300 is fine. All right, and then if you look at this, you do see that there are some gradient. So we can do the gradient by going into effect, and then for the fill, we can click on there and change it to gradient, and then click on this. And over here, you can do whatever gradient that you want. I already have my gradient here, so I'm going to select that. And we do have something more like this. Okay, going back, we can change the size to, let's say 700, maybe not too good. So let's change to like 1,000. Okay, let's do 1,200. I think 1,200 is okay. All right, is that what they're doing? Maybe this is down, but I think that's fine. All right, selecting back on our div, I am going to give it a gap of 20 pixels. What I need more is this text. So let's copy that. Then in here, I am going to add a normal text. Paste what we just copied. And probably the size is a bit small. So let's go into styling, typography. Then we can change it on 0.95 REMs. And for font color, I think it's just white, so I'm going to leave it like that. The next thing is to add the two buttons. To do that, I am going to click on add and then click on div. And here I'm going to add a button. So button number 1, and then I can duplicate this and then click on this arrow to select the div, and then go back into layout, make it horizontal, and then you can just center it from here. And let's give it a gap of 10 pixel. All right, so first button, I'm gonna copy. And then I can copy the text. All right, visit our showroom. So let me click here. So visit showroom. And the next one is shop now. So click also here and then do shop now. All right, I think that is good. And then we can just style it a bit by going to button and then the styling, go to custom. And then for this, we do have an outline. So make this, scroll down and then make it round like that. And then we don't want to fill. We can change the color of the outline to something more like this. I think that is what it is. And then if you want to add the icon, scroll down, icon, drag this over here. And then we can look for map, because I think that is what I used. And then we can select this one. And then for the size of the icon, we can do, I think 32, probably too big, 26, maybe too much. Let's do 18. I think that should be fine. And when you scroll down, you can do space before. Let's give it like 20 pixel, just like that. All right, so for shop now, let's click on that too. Go into styling, click on button, click on custom, and then click on the edit. Bring this over here. And then on here, what we do want is, all right, so just a fill, but we want to make sure that the corner is round. And then background color, I'm going to choose this pre-made color. And then let's go into typography. And then for the type, I'm going to change it to this background color too. So we do have something more like that. Clicking back on here, we can go into icon and we can look for sharp. And then we can choose this one. And then for before, we can do like 20. And then icon size, just as we did over here, we can do 16. I think that should be good. All right, so I think we are done with that. The next thing is to do this. All right, so to do that, let's click back in our section, click on add. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to add content reveal. So this is how it looks like. And then after that, I am going to remove what is already in. Right, selecting back on here. I want to make sure that the color at the bottom matches this color that we do have over here. So to do that, I want to first get the color. Let me go back into my global settings, right? And then for this is the color. So I'm going to copy that. All right, so whatever color that you're using for the background, make sure that it matches this one so that it will look a bit more seamless. So clicking back on our content reveal, let's go into styling, click on overlay, and then you can click on your gradient. And on here, so there are two colors. There's this color at the top and then this color at the bottom. So selecting the color 0, you can change this one to that, so it looks more like that. The next thing that I want to do is I want to place my video inside, but before I do that, let's click on add, and then let's click on a div, and then inside the div I am going to add my video. The reason why I place the div inside is if you do not place the div and then you place the video in, and you can see there's this button over here. This button is on absolute position. I think it glitches a bit when you don't place it into a div, so that is why I placed it into this div. So that being done, the next thing is, let me add my button. So button over here, so we do have this button. All right, let's select on the content review. I want to make the width a bit smaller, so maximum width, I'm going to change that to, let's say, 800. Then that is good. I'm going to click back on my section. The gap in between here is a bit small, so let me give it a gap of 60 pixel. I think that is good. All right, go back into content reveal, and then let's go into edit. Over here, you're able to set the height that you want. So the height I'm going to give it is like 350, like that. Right, let's save that, and then I'm going to click back on my video. I already have a video here that I want to use. All right, so this video, so that's the video I'm using. And then for the video, I remove everything for YouTube, and then video options, I want to make sure that this auto plays and is mute. All right, if you want to add a poster, you can add the poster, and then that should be fine. Let's go into styling for the video, and a container over here for the border. I'm going to change this one to 15 pixel, and I think that should be good. Let's save that. So there's my button, right? I'm going to do Shift F and look for position. Right, so position comes up. I'm going to change this onto absolute, and then I'm going to click on my div that has the video and the button. Go into layout, click on vertical, make sure that align center, and then I'm going to align this one the vertical alignment is also center like that. Go and click back on the button, do Shift F, and then look for index. And then for index, I'm going to make this one 2, so that it shows at the top, right? And then over here we can style it a bit. So let's say, what text is over there? Live presentation. So I'm going to type in live presentation. All right, and then we can go into styling, click on button, click on custom, and then I think this one. All right, I know what it is. So outline, and then for background color, we can do the white, and then just trim the opacity down a bit. And then going back into our edit, we can change the corner to round, and then we can change, I think this one is a black. So for typography, we can do that to the outline. So for the outline, right, we can change the outline to this black, and you can see that it does that. And then when you do hover on it, when you hover, you want to make this one red. I don't have red saved, so I'm going to copy that red. And then I'm going to go into background too, because I want to make it into some kind of red. But then with the background, I'm going to bring the opacity all the way down. So when you hover, you have something more like that. But you can see that our text is not changing. So what I'm going to do is click on typography, and then I'll hover on the color and I place it to red. So when you hover on that, you have this. The next one is to add the icon. So icon, click on edit. Let's drag it to the side, click on choose, and then search for play. And then we can choose this play. And yeah, if you want, you can just give it a gap of probably like 20 pixel. It should be fine. So when you have something more like that. All right, so that is pretty cool. Next thing that I probably want to do is we can add these things over here if we do want. To do that, I'm going to select my section, and then I'm going to add a div, and then inside the div we have a text, and then I have my logos. So I'm going to click on my logos. All right, but the thing is that I don't want this one to be too the width to be too wide like that. So I'm going to click on my content reveal and go into styling, and then our maximum is 800. So clicking back on the div, I'm going to go into container, and then for width I'm going to do 750, just like that. All right, and the next thing is I want to change the gradient at the end of this. So go into list, gradient overlay, choose the color to match the background color like that. Looks more seamless. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, click back on our div, go into layout, click on vertical, center is like that, and then for gap you can do like 20 pixels. If you want to do more, you can do like 30 pixels. All right, and then over here for this text, copy that back in here. I'm going to double click here, paste it, go into styling, typography, and then we can make this one that. And then for color, I'm going to choose this and then just make it a bit more faint. All right, and I think that should be good. And then we can click on this, go into styling, go into list. We can change the animation from going to the left to going to the right, so it is alternating like that, which is really cool. All right, the next thing that we want to do is we want to remove this button completely from there. So let's go to the front end by clicking on this X, and then we go and do exit to the front end. So over here I'm going to go into my developers panel, and I'm going to select this button. So that's the button over here. All right, so this button has a class name of this, but I'm going to copy just this, copy that, go back into our development, and then over here what I'm going to do is select back the content reveal, click on this gear, open your advanced, and then let's click over here. And then when you click, you're going to have this populated. I'm going to click on this side and then paste what I just copied, and then I'm going to do display and then add none, and then close it. Right, so now you can see that the button is gone. Then when I go back over here and then I refresh, so now the button is no more there. So you can have that nice flowing gradient on top of it, and then when someone hovers, hovering is a bit difficult, yeah, but when you hover, you are going to, when you click on that, you should be able to have a video. So on here what I'm going to do is go into edit, and then let's click on this gear icon, and then for the type we are going to do lightbox and then video, and then you can select any video that you want. So if you want to use that same video, you can use that. If you want to use a URL, you can do that too. So let's say we are going to use this video, right? And then if you don't want the video to autoplay when someone clicks on that, you can also disable it. And if you want to add an ID, you can add an ID to it. All right, so this is good. And when we go to the front end and then I refresh and then I click on here, you can see that it starts playing like that. So yeah, not bad. Let's see how responsive this is. So let's go and click on this icon, click over here, click over there. All right, so one thing that probably I might need to just fix is just this. All right, so to do that, I am going to do it on this mode, which is over here. So div is selected already. I'm going to say that we want it to be vertical on mobile landscape. And one thing that I absolutely do not want is this alternating sizes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open, click on the first button, and then click on the edit, go into size. I'm going to make sure that this is full width on mobile landscape, and then I'm also going to click on this button, go into edit, go into size. I'm going to make sure this is full width on mobile landscape, and then let's click back on our div. We want to make sure that our div is 100%, so 100%, so you have something more like this. All right, and then we can save it. So at the end of the day, we have a really responsive modern hero section, and this is coming from my new template that will be dropping for more Blocks users. So if you're a more Blocks user, I'm just waiting for version 2 to be cleared, and then some of the template that I've already built out, because it will be, I wouldn't say it will be a waste of time, but you have to you have to like make changes to some of the old template when the new update comes up. So I'm waiting for the new update to drop, and then some of the template that I have ready, I am going to put on the site. Please, if you did enjoy this video, I would love for you to give it a thumbs up, and then if you haven't subscribed to the channel too, please try and then hit that subscribe button down below. Thank you for watching. I will catch you on the next one.